Great pyramids, once argued to be ancient Egyptian tombs, are now confirmed to be a hydroelectric power source. The pyramids contain no similarities to other Egyptian tombs. It contains no artifacts, no hieroglyphs, and no wall art. The granite sarcophagus, once thought to contain Khufu's mummy, held no evidence that there was ever a mummy there. In fact, no mummy ever has been found in any pyramid. The location of the Great Pyramid of Giza is at 30 degrees longitude and 30 degrees latitude. To align the structure to be 1/15th of a degree of true north is an impossible precision. The base of the pyramid is leveled within 3/4 of an inch. The only way to do this with modern structures today is with lasers. If you take the height of the pyramid and multiply that by 43,200, you get the exact polar radius of the Earth. If you measure the base perimeter of the pyramid and multiply that by 43,200, you get the exact circumference of the Earth. The Egyptians were obsessed with the summer and winter equinoxes, as depicted in their hieroglyphs. There is no coincidence that there are 43,200 seconds of daylight in the summer equinox and 43,200 seconds of darkness in the winter equinox. The surface of the pyramids were once cased in white limestone with no seams visible. These limestones were cut and delivered from a quarry in Tura that was 500 miles away. That's like carrying tens of thousands of 10-ton blocks, the distance size of the state of Florida. So they must have been very important, peculiar. The Tura limestone lacked magnesium, which makes an excellent insulator. The interior chambers were built with a rare type of granite called rose granite, also brought from hundreds of miles away. This granite has a high concentration of silicon dioxide, also known as quartz. When quartz is compressed or even moved, it creates a charge called piezoelectricity. One face of the quartz will have a positive charge, the other a negative charge. When the two are connected together, you produce an electrical circuit. The king and the queen's chamber are built with granite that is 85% quartz. The tunnels and passageways are also lined with quartz-rich granite. If pressure was applied to all this granite, it would generate a tremendous amount of electricity, turning the pyramid into a giant power plant. The two people to first observe this in recent times were Nikola Tesla and Dunn. Charles Dunn noted that the process started in the subterranean chamber. Below the pyramids, aquifers were discovered. When the water moves through the underground cavity, sound waves are created. The frequency of these waves resonate with the Earth's natural vibration. The vibrations are converted into energy when they reach the chambers. The Queen's chamber was used for a chemical reaction to create hydrogen. There are two interior shafts that lead to the Queen's chamber. The northern shaft has traces of hydrochloric acid. The southern has traces of hydrated zinc chloride. Combining the two chemicals creates a volatile reaction that then creates hydrogen, and a lot of it. This hydrogen gas would flow from the Queen's chamber through the horizontal passage and into the Grand Gallery. The Grand Gallery is also made of granite. As the hydrogen builds up, the pressure compresses the granite, creating electricity. Within the Grand Gallery, there are 28 pairs of resonators. These would vibrate and emit sound. The sound waves would vibrate and further pulsate the granite, creating even more electricity. Acoustic engineers have determined that the gallery resonates at 440 Hz and naturally emits an F-sharp chord. It's considered to be a sound that resonates in harmony with the earth. In the top of the gallery, there is a small shaft leading to the king's chamber, which is 8.4 by 4.8 inches. This is the perfect size for hydro microwaves to pass into the king's chamber, which also resonates at 440 Hz and F-sharp. Above the king's chamber are 5 layers of granite beams, stacked and separated by 1-inch air gaps. The beams are smooth on 3 sides, but on the top are rough. Christopher Dunn concluded that this is how the beams were tuned. The king's chamber is known as a Helmholtz resonator. In 2018, scientists used radio waves to see if the granite in the pyramids would react with electromagnetic waves of resonant length. The experiment proved that the pyramids generated electromagnetic energy and can concentrate electromagnetic energy. Resonance in the pyramids can be induced with the radio waves ranging from 200 to 600 meters. This technology, created thousands of years ago, could generate unlimited clean energy. This electricity could be transmitted throughout the atmosphere. The pyramid was built on an aquifer. Copper pipes and iron rods have recently been found there. The capstone, which was stolen by Arabian looters, was originally made of gold. This would draw the electricity to the top and transmit it into the atmosphere. What did the ancient Egyptians really use this electricity for? Well, there certainly are a number of hieroglyphs where light bulbs are distinctly featured. Then what happened to this great technology, one would ask, and why are we just now finding out about it today? To answer this question, we need to first start with the actual correct age of the pyramids. Graham Hancock noted that the Great Pyramids would have been lying perfectly with the 3 stars in Orion's belt 13,500 years ago. Also, the Sphinx would have been facing the Leo constellation at the same time. You cannot carbon date limestone, but there are clues to show that the Sphinx and the pyramids were there much longer than originally perceived. Evidence shows that a great mass of water moving past it at an accelerated rate must have occurred due to the monumental amount of erosion. Some speculate that the Sphinx and the Great Pyramids must have survived the ancient flood. This whole civilization would have been wiped out, and their knowledge would have been lost. The pyramids and the Sphinx were constructed so well that they were all that remained after the Great Flood. The surrounding community and evidence of technology that used this electrical generated pyramid can only be contemplated, as it would have been flushed away forever. Religious scholars believe that Noah, his companions, and the biblical ark landed in ancient Sumerian territory due to the ancient Sumerians depicting a great flood with the kings that preceded and followed this ruinous event. These depictions were carved and scribed into great megalithic structures. In the generations following the origins of ancient Sumerian culture, people eventually migrated out of this region and re-inhabited ancient Egypt.